often we hear calories in, calories out. That's what matters in terms of losing weight. If you take in less than you burn, you will lose weight. And that's absolutely true. But what that doesn't take into account is physiological functioning, hormone production, metabolic function, muscle growth, fat burning. It's totally different in terms of optimizing your health and your physique. Your physique. You will lose weight with the calories in, calories out difference, right? In the right direction. But there's something called energy availability. And maybe this is a better way to gauge how many calories we should be having per pound of body weight every day to optimize not only muscle growth and fat burning, but also proper physiological, metabolic, hormonal functioning in the body. Everything in your body pretty much requires energy, right? And the calories in, calories out, it's not taking into account the proper functioning of your heart, which requires energy, or your kidneys and liver, digestive system, and all these organs in your brain, right? These things need energy to function properly. It's not taking into account hormone production, right? So, like we said, it's not taking into account many things. How much exactly do you need in terms of protein and calories to make sure you're not wasting away muscle if you're looking to improve body composition? And will you actually burn more fat if you have less calories than you burn? Well, not necessarily. You can lose weight, but it's going to be mixed with your losing, right? You're not just going to lose the fat. So there's something called energy availability again. And this is the difference in calories taken in versus calories burned, right? So you find the difference there. And what you do is you divide it by your free fat mass or lean body mass. So what is free fat mass or lean body mass? That is the amount of pounds that's everything besides fat in your body. So a simple way to do it is take your percentage body fat, convert that to pounds, deduct those pounds from your weight. Now you have your free fat mass or lean body mass, okay? So now we have this number, our free fat mass. We take the difference in what we took in versus burnt, and we divide it by that number. And wouldn't it be fantastic if we knew the absolute optimal number of calories per pound of free fat mass to maintain proper physiological functioning, hormone metabolic function, and to promote muscle gain, at least maintaining lean muscle mass, and fat burning? Well, now we do. Very recently, this is what they came out with, and this is what we're leading up to. It's different in men and women. So that number is 13.6 calories per pound of free fat mass, not body weight, free fat mass. Remember, that's your body weight deducing with the deduction of fat, right? So whatever percent fat converted to pounds. 13.6 calories per pound of free fat mass in women and in men in a day, right? So you can do the math, and you'll see if you're under that mark, it's actually having a negative effect on probably your physique and the way your body's functioning. And maybe you can flutter right around that mark, and you can sit right around there and make sure you have optimal protein intake. You know, this isn't taking into account different macronutrients. This is just calories. But you want to have 100 to 120% of your body weight in grams of protein every day if your goal is to maintain lean mass and to burn fat, right? Or to build some muscle at the same time. Bodybuilder, 1.5 times their body weight. You know, a pregnant woman is 80%, lactating women 70%, sedentary lifestyle is 50%, 60% for somebody that, or obese is 50, sedentary 60, whatever. But it's all different. So you calculate how much protein you should have, right? And then you take into account the exact amount of calories to be above that 13.6 calories per pound of free fat mass. In men, it's 7.7 calories per pound of free fat mass. We need almost half to maintain proper physiological functioning, hormone regulation, metabolic health. And we're talking affecting, regulating estrogen, estradiol, right? Estrogen, testosterone, cortisol, levels of leptin and ghrelin, right? Things that tell your body you're hungry or you're full or store or cause the liver to produce fat. And so in this regard, it is so much more complicated than calories in, calories out. This is a great way to judge it. Low energy availability is a bad thing. And I've made the mistake in my life of overworking myself and under eating. And I don't do that anymore. I replenish properly. I work really hard, but I replenish properly. I had to change my shirt from the workout I just did. I'm still sweating on it. It was completely drenched. But 7.7 in men. So this is very fascinating. So maybe why, I didn't really research this as much, but let's try to use some common sense here. Maybe why is it double just about for women? That they would need so many more calories to maintain things. Well, the reproductive organs are totally different, right? I mean, you talk about the functioning of boobs and for milk production, right? And the mammary glands. And you talk about housing a child, right? The body doesn't want to be deprived. It doesn't even want to be close to deprived. It wants to feel very comfortable that it could support a child, especially obviously in reproductive years. And so it would put it under a lot of extra stress and duress if you were to be under that 13.6 calories per pound of free fat mass mark. Right? And so really no woman should probably fall under that. Never say never. There's exceptions, right? There are outliers, but no, typically I would definitely recommend not falling under that. But us men, we're not carrying a child, we can fast for long hours and there are no negative hormonal effects. In fact, we might just get greater boosts in growth hormone and testosterone so long as we feed properly at the end of our window, right? And women, I never recommend any of my patients to fast more than 18 hours if they're a female in their reproductive years. A postmenopausal women, we can be more aggressive with fasting if we wanted to be. But it has negative hormonal effects. It's a stressful thing to your body if you're a female. It's totally different. So no, we're not equal in that regard, and we shouldn't look at maintaining optimal physique and physiological functioning in the body and hormonal health in even close to the same way as men and women. So that's what we got for you guys today. Again, the numbers of relevance here were 13.6 calories per pound of free fat mass, aka lean body mass, and that's when you deduct whatever pounds account for pure fat from your body in women, and in men it was 7.7 calories per pound of free fat mass. So we don't want to fall under those numbers every day. You can do the math, calculate what you ate, really neat stuff, and send me some feedback on how you feel if you're somebody that's going to go do this. It's pretty simple math. All you got to do, probably the most annoying part is finding your body fat percentage, but you can test it anywhere. If you go to a gym, they offer it for free all the time. They have machines, whatever. You can get calipers, but that's what we got. So happy today, my friends. Little Tony, what's up, Holly? How you doing, girl? Little Tony, MV Dillard. .io. Yeah, Cavono. It's that simple, my man. You could read what I went over it a few times. If you have any other questions, ask me right now. I'll tell you. Israel Vertes, Soda Presson, F. Steezy, Stephen Apple Blue, Steph, what's up? Meg, what's going on, girl? Hello. Anibal Sorman, Raven Liss, David Rabacher, Trainer Dude, Ralph, Matt Diaz, Kamar Anderson, and DK Minor, and the first one of the day was Wild Heart. Hello, my fine feather friend. I hope you have a great day. Wild Heart. That's great, man. I hope it's full of love and wild, where you have a lot of fun and you do crazy stuff that's not harmful to your body, but you live life to the fullest, right? So there you go, man. This one's for you. Happy today. Thanks for being the first one on. NYC Nike, what up? Bearded Lugs, bro. So remember now, as we were saying with calculating your free fat mass and your energy availability, you want to avoid low energy availability. That's just not for physiological functioning. That's actually to burn more fat. So that's another angle here, right? I mean, and we said, but I want to really reiterate that, because most people think calories in, calories out is about burning fat. No, that's not true. It's about losing weight. It's about losing mass. It's about losing mass. right? You don't have the building blocks to produce the mass. You just have such little fuel. You're burning more. Simple. But that doesn't take into account how you're manipulating hormone production, like we said, how you're manipulating your liver to produce fat or to burn visceral fat and things of that nature. So, and for building muscle, of course. Have a good one. I could talk about it for hours. I love this stuff. Happy When Wellness. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Not sure where, not sure when, but we'll see you then. Enjoy. Thanks.